Alright guys, we're in the home stretch of this this EGC Warmoth build. This thing is awesome. It's really grown on me. This thing is really cool. So this is the sketchiest part, which is drilling the holes for the pickups. This is going to be direct mount. If you watch the other videos on this, you will know that the neck did not fit in the body, and this neck does not fit in a Mexican made Strat body either. So I'm not sure where the Strat pocket idea comes from, but I had to do quite a bit of sanding to get this thing to fit right in here, and I had to shim the neck on the back side. Usually I have to shim up here to move the neck this way, but I had to make it move this way because otherwise the saddles were way too high up. Could have replaced the screws, but they would have been too high up. It would have been weird. So I had to make a shim out of some maple for that. But for the mounting screws for the pickups, I did a bunch of measurements. The most important one is the thickness of the body and the thickness of the cavity and the thickness of the screw. But I want to make sure I had plenty of thread going into the wood to hold the pickups in without them breaking out or something if I use too much foam or springs or whatever you guys use for your direct mount pickups to prop them up. So I did a preliminary setup and got it to where, you know, the action's going to be where it's at, and I can see where the pickups are going to be. And then I put them to their lowest, which is about 3 millimeters. I would never set pickups that low, but I wanted the option. So that gave me the distance that I need to go into the body. And then I got some screws here that are going to let me go through the pickups without drilling out the threads. And I figured out I'm going to have about 4 millimeters before I touch the body, and that's okay. That's good. That's with the pickup screwed all the way down into the body, which is never going to happen. But I'm going to go that far anyway. So I've got my drill bit here, which is a little smaller than the threads. It's about the size of the inner diameter of the screw without the threads. Like, imagine that the threads were just like removed. So it's about that size, maybe a tiny bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is I set these pickups up and I got them so they were perfectly straight, both this way and this way and this way. If you look down here, you can see they're parallel with the body and nice and tight. And this neck pickup wanted to move this way on its own, where the bridge one's pretty much not going to move at all because of how long the legs are. So I propped this little piece of paper in there to move the neck pickup perfectly center. And then I used my little awl and I hammered it in to get some pilot holes because I can't drill with these cards in here, and an equal number of cards on each side. So now I can just pull these out and pull the pickups out and drill my holes. And I used this bit of tape. I used a lot of tape on this one because I really do not want to go through this body. Bunch of tape on here to the exact depth that I want, which happens to be a little bit shorter than the screws. And that's because they're never going to be all the way down. There's the leg on the pickups, and I wanted to leave enough room in the wood to make sure these, you know, like I said, can go down in the wood quite a bit and not get ripped out. And they are thin screws, so that's important. So I got the perfect size screws, the perfect size drill bit, everything's lined up perfectly. This is going to go very well.